Hello everyone and welcome to Thursday's edition of the vlog, getting closer and closer to this Wollongong Reptile Expo, which CBA TV Australia is going to be featuring their first ever episode, and myself and Chelsea will be venturing down there on the Friday. So Friday the 10th, I believe it is, next week, we will be traveling down in the AM and driving all the way down there, doing a bit of vlogging, some live feeds, stuff like that. So make sure you keep an eye out and watch any of those live feeds, because we will be doing a lot of behind the scenes interview stuff that we'll be doing with a few really good episodes that we have planned. And we'll also be hopefully going to check out the reptile zoo, which I've always wanted to check out, and of course Taronga Zoo, which fingers crossed we can go see that as well. But it's a very jam-packed little mini working holiday, so we want to make sure that we get as much done as possible. So I'll continue this vlog with showing you some of the animals and how we got them, and of course doing a bit of a educational talk on what the species is and where their location is and a few other things like that. So let's get straight into it this time and get ready for some education. So as you know, Parkinson is my male black-headed python, and I won him through Neil Sonneman, and it was only about $60 for freight back then, so it was absolutely awesome to win a black-headed python and own it for 60 bucks. And I do love the Aspidites genus. They are a fantastic python, and obviously situated in the tropical North Queensland and Darwin area, and there's actually a few found in Western and Southern Australia as well. Especially the black-headed pythons, they do like both the arid environment and the subtropical environment, so you tend to find them a lot in Darwin, around that area where there's a lot more of dense forestation, water, and then obviously they do love that arid environment, so your desert sand and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's where the sort of Woma pythons come into the play, where it's the Woma pythons, you will only find them in the desert or arid environments, and these guys are a bit of more of a tropical sort of python, so you will find them up in Queensland and obviously other places like that. But he is a great and awesome addition to our collection, and we did have a run-in with him actually the other day, where I may have startled him just from while he was drinking, and he's just, as that typical blackhead, going bang up against the glass, and he just went ballistic. But we let him settle down, and now he seems to be a lot better, or it seems to be anyway. Now this is the typical behavior of the black-headed python genus, the Aspidites, and they do love to go through burrowing systems, and that's how they catch their prey. They go into their prey's actual burrowing tunnels, they hide in there, stick their head out every now and then and grab that direct sunlight while they can, wait for that prey item to come back after its night or day of hunting for their own prey, and then surprise there is a black-headed python waiting in your own home to gobble you up. So it's pretty amazing to see that these guys, even in captivity, do show the traits that they use in the wild to catch their own prey. So touching on the Aspidites genus, and these guys are the Woma pythons, and these guys are very inquisitive, very reluctant to go full on, but when they do, they are typically like the blackheads, and they open their mouth and get ready, rearing up and trying to get at you. But generally it's more of a open mouth headbutt more than anything, but they will bite if necessary. But these guys are obviously found, as I said, in the arid and desert environments, and typically you'll find these guys around the Windora areas, Stonehenge, stuff like that, and then obviously going into Western Australia, Southern Australia, and near the Simpson Desert and stuff like that. It's a bit of a travel out there, but I definitely recommend it if you're looking for these guys. Out West Queensland it is quite hard, but they are out there, and they're typically known to be either eaten by mulga snakes or subject to dead on roads. So it's a bit hard for these guys, and as this guy's rearing up a little bit, they are very inquisitive, and at this age they start to get that little bit of a feisty streak, but they are awesome and fantastic little pythons, aren't they? Now, I've told this story a couple of times before, but this is Hades, our jungle jaguar carpet python. And now this boy, he's actually my brother's, and we bought him when the jaguars first came out into the pet trade, and he is a bit hissy at times, and I dare say that would be the jungle coming out sometimes. It's just, he's a little bit hissy, he doesn't really feel like being handled that much, so I won't hold him for too long because he can get quite skittish. But story behind him is we saw him fluoro yellow and we thought, holy moly, this is a fluoro yellow snake, and I didn't think you would even be able to get these, and we ended up paying something like $790 for this snake, and now you can pick these guys up for 250 bucks. So you never know what is going to happen in this reptile trade, and you're getting a bit cheeky, are you? It's hard to judge with the reptile hobby in how these guys can go in sales. So genetics is very, very hard, because as soon as somebody clams onto something, it's pretty much it. That's how it goes. They start breeding, and then they drop in price so dramatically that there's no point even breeding them anymore. But I'm gonna get this guy put away because he is getting a bit flighty. But that is Hades, our jungle jaguar carpet python. So this is Keg, the central bearded dragon. He is also a red face, so a genetic mutation in the bearded dragons. And this guy is actually another one of my families. It's actually my father's bearded dragon, and ever since I got into reptiles, I had bearded dragons first, then I got into the snakes. And it's one of those things where my dad came over a fair bit when we were in Melbourne, Victoria, and he loved the bearded dragons, and I still personally love them. They have great personality. They're a great first pet for anyone looking to get into reptiles. They're a little bit more maintenance compared to a snake, but the personality weighs that up because they just are inquisitive all the time. They go hunting, and I had actually a couple that I bred, and these guys that I had, the female used to jump out of the enclosure and launch at me when it was time for crickets or mealworms or whatever I was feeding them. And these guys eat a varied diet of anywhere from insects to any of your vegetables and fruits. So I used to grate apple and carrot and celery and all that sort of stuff, and feed them a bowl of vegetable mix, and then have their crickets on another day. So it's pretty cool to see that these guys are both herbivorous and insectivorous, so it's really cool to see that. And this guy will actually be going back down to Melbourne at some stage, so I will be looking for a bearded dragon and possibly a blue tongue and shingleback to get back into some lizards and stuff like that. But I definitely have monitors and goannas and stuff like that on the list as well, so there's a lot to look forward to. But for now, I'll enjoy Keg and his crickets and mealworms and stuff like that. But these guys are typically found in, especially this species, the Pogona viticeps, they're actually found in Central Australia, and that's anywhere from Alice Springs, a little bit into the Western Australia, South Australia, and Queensland. And you will find the eastern bearded dragon, the Pogona barbata. They are in Queensland, and they are found everywhere. It's that and water dragons are pretty much the things that you find in Queensland, and there's the occasional frilly that I remember seeing when I was little. But these guys definitely recommend as a first pet. So the last thing I want to show you in this vlog is the Crest river turtles. Now these guys are found in southeast Queensland along river systems, in lagoons and stuff like that. But when there is any severe droughts, you can actually see these looking for other water sources, so they'll be crossing roads and are actually subject to getting hit by cars, because you don't really look for a turtle when you're driving along the road. But the thing that interests me the most about these turtles is you can tell the difference by the white markings on the side of their head. So if you can see on this side here, there is a white little patch on both sides of their head, which you can tell that they are the Crest river turtles. So we have two of these that we're going to be setting up in a 6-foot enclosure, or I should say aquarium style, where we'll have a large filtration system, heated water, stuff like that. So they won't be in little tubs for very much longer. So we're just trying to find a good supplier for our 6-foot tank, deck it out a little bit, make it look really cool, have a nice turtle dock, and get them going. But I never knew how painful that these little claws are for these turtles. Tell you what, I thought that snake bites were a bit, but these claws, they give you a run for their money. So I'll get this guy back into the water, but I thought I'd share with you our Crest river turtles. Well, there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog here. Hope you really enjoyed this vlog and showing you what we have in our little reptile room. There was a few that I didn't show you as they had eaten from the previous vlog, so I'll let them settle a bit more and I can talk a little bit further in detail about what the species are, where they're located, stuff like that. But don't forget to check out CBTV Australia. We're going to be doing live feeds and stuff like that, so that's going to be awesome. We'll also do some live feeds of stuff on our personal pages, so check out our Instagrams, Facebooks and the likes of. But definitely keep an eye out for our YouTube for CBTV Australia, because that will be launching very, very soon. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will see you on Monday.